not going to spend any money on wholesale and real estate until I get a deal done using $0. Now, this is an objection that I've heard recently from several people that have applied to join Titanium University. And their thought process is they want that proof of concept. They want to be able to see a deal cross the finish line, be closed and funded without really having to get in the hole or invest any of their hard-earned money into lead generation systems, education, mentorship, community, whatever you want to call it. They want to see one of those cheap and easy deals get across the finish line. Now, there is a thought process behind that. And honestly, I can't blame many people for wanting to get a deal across the finish line without having to invest money. Quite frankly, if it wasn't for my mom investing into my wholesale education, I probably wouldn't be sitting here today, right? She invested $65,000 on our American Express, and that allowed us to get enough education to learn how to wholesale real estate. And then a decade later, here we are. Many people are not as lucky as we are, and they don't have that opportunity. So they're sitting there and they're saying, hey, I have limited resources available to me. I don't want to invest those because I don't even know if wholesaling is meant for me. I don't even know if this is what I want to do, and I don't even know if I have the skill sets or the bandwidth to be able to wholesale. So I want to be able to try to do it, whether it's calling for sale by owners, going off of listings, MLS deals, direct to agent, trying to get hip pocket listings. All sorts of different strategies exist out there. And I understand the reasoning as to why people would want to do this. The downside of this is no matter what you do, there is a trade-off. So let's start off by defining what is free. Free means that you're not going to invest any money into giving yourself a head start into knowing that you're only going to reach the people that have raised their hands and say, I have a house that I want to sell. You're not going to have the resources that are available when it comes to data, comps, softwares, knowing where end buyers are buying, right? You're trading off one thing for another. And so if you're not going to invest dollars and cents into trying to generate deals inside of your wholesale business, this means now you're going to be trading off time, effort, energy, and quite frankly, possibility of losing your desire to want to do this. Because it is going to take more time, more effort, more energy, and more mental bandwidth to be able to sustain the failures that are going to come your way. Otherwise, all of us would be doing it the free way if that was the easiest way. There's nothing easy about doing this using $0. Now, I would say it has gotten much easier over the past several years to do it on a much more affordable budget. I'm not saying you have to come in with $50,000 to your name to wholesale real estate, but if you do have a couple of $1,000s, at least then you can invest to where you're having quality conversations with motivated sellers and knowing where your end buyers buy. Those are the key things that you need to be focused on. Now, if you're going to go out and you're going to try to trade your time, your effort, and your energy for money, so you're going to go out and you're going to try to do it the free way, here's a couple of things that I want to suggest. One, for sale by owners is the best strategy in my opinion. You're not going to have to deal with a retail agent. You're not going to have to deal with putting down a significant amount of earnest money deposit, proof of funds, things that retail agents are going to ask you for. So on the for sale by owners, the other thing that you're going to see is how much is the seller asking me for the property today? You know what their asking price is. You can also normally see pictures of the property and understand their thought process of where they're sitting with their asking price in comparison to the condition and where that sits in comparison to the other properties that are currently listed on the market. So what I always go do is I go look and see, hey, is this for sale by owner physically distressed? And if it is, has the seller discounted that price enough from the other properties that exist on the market to where I might be able to wholesale this property? Now, If you're truly broke and you don't have any other options, well, that's another thing. One thing that you need to make sure here is that you're taking care of yourself and you're at least in a place to where you can have quality conversations with these homeowners. You don't want them to feel like you're pressuring them or that you have what we refer to as commission breath. You're desperate to get a deal across the finish line. They can sense that. I always talk about this when I teach the closers formula. Embrace being the buyer. You are in control here and you want the seller to sell you on their property. If you're desperate because you're broke and you don't have anything else, well, they're going to read right through that. And also come to grips where you sit in your journey today. Each and every one of us has our own different path to where we're going to end up. Everything is easier if you do have operating capital. If you do not have operating capital, understand that it is going to be more difficult for you at the beginning and it's going to take you more time. Sit down and be honest with yourself. How long am I going to work at this before I give up if I don't get success? If I don't see that proof of concept? The other thing I always tell everybody that doesn't have money when they're getting started and they want to do free resources, free lead generation, get a deal across the finish line and sustain where you are financially. Do not take any of the profits from that and reinvest all of that back into your business so you can make things easier for you. Take it and go buy a bunch of discounted leads from Speed to Lead or Property Leads or LeadZolo. Get you comping software so you can actually know, do I have in buyers in this area? Where are they buying? What is my maximum allowable offer? Pay attention to these opportunities that now exist because you went out and you earned the right to have that money. Don't take it and just spend it on your life. Let's be honest. It was luck that that deal even made it across the finish line to begin with. Capitalize on it and try to make things easier moving forward. Can deals be done for free and just on a hustle? Yeah, but it's not sustainable. This is not, you don't sit there and regularly see people running a high volume wholesaling operation on these free resources. So yeah, can you do it? Sure. Is it something that you should be stuck in? No. It should be for one or two deals, and you've got to move on to catch up to where the industry is today in 2025. This is only going to be sustainable for you for a certain amount of time. So know that going into that. Understand how long you're willing to do this before you give up, because I'm going to be honest with you. It is going to be tough mentally for you to overcome the amount of dials that you have to do, the amount of comping and underwriting that you have to do, and honestly, the terminations that you're probably going to have to go through. Spending money to invest in your business is how you grow it. That is a bottom line fact. Everyone that is successful in this industry is investing into their business to some degree. Eventually, it starts off with leads, softwares, systems. And eventually, once you use those systems and you develop the processes that are necessary to succeed with those systems, you start investing into people to replace yourself and start delegating tasks out inside of your business. This is what becoming a business owner looks like. So if you're sitting there today and you're saying, I don't want to invest one single dollar in your wholesale business, well, that's the choice that you're making. My suggestion and my question to you is, if you have money today and you're fearful of losing that money, are you really in the place to become an entrepreneur? Investing in your business and losing money, or investing into leads or softwares and it not turning out profitable, that's part of being a business owner. That is the trial and tribulations that we overcome. We sit back, we analyze what went well, what didn't go right, we solve it, we offer a solution, and we move on. That is what you are signing up for when you become an entrepreneur and a business owner. So if you're not ready to do that today, what changes when you get your first deal done using no money, or your fifth deal with no money? You have to get to a place to where you are okay, win, lose, or draw. That is where I am as a business owner. And it's where I've been since day one. I've never been afraid to invest in my business. And because of that, it served me well. So I ask you, if you're not willing to invest in your business, are you even ready to become an entrepreneur? Let me know what you guys think in the comments. I appreciate each and every one of them. Show me some love. Make sure you like today's video. We'll see you guys tomorrow.